Hey guys, we have a brand new boat, and of course whenever you make an investment like that, you want to protect it. Even though this is an aluminum boat, I want to protect the keel of it. The keel is painted, so I don't want to scratch all of the paint and stuff off. So today we are going to install a Gator Guard KeelShield. These are some of the things that come in the package. Of course, the KeelShield, your adhesion promoter, which is pretty much your primer, a scratch pad, a squeegee. That's what comes in the box. You're gonna have to get some alcohol, some gloves, masking tape, crayon, and then my little twist. I thought this paint roller would help push out all of the bubbles, so we're gonna test that out. The first thing that you wanna do, the first thing is this KeelShield has been laying here most of the day. It's warm outside, it's like 80 degrees. It needs to be above 70 before you can do this, just for the adhesive part of it. Also, you don't want it really humid. It's kind of like painting. You want everything dry and you want it warm for the best adhesive process. The first thing that you want to do whenever you do this is you want to establish your natural water line. When your boat's floating at its natural position, the water line, where it's going to set. You can go 6 to 9 inches, I think, in front of that. And that's going to protect you, like when you pull up in front of the bank, on the bank. I've already done that. I know where the water line is. I've marked it with the crayon. So what we have to do now is we're going to tape this KeelShield up there without sticking it. We're not going to pull the backing off yet. We're going to tape it up there, and then we're going to take this crayon and then we're going to outline it, okay? And then we'll pull it off. We'll use masking tape to tape off that area, so that center section there is our working area. We're going to have to get that clean. We're going to have to scratch it off, prime some of the paint, and just get it ready. And the taping process, it protects the outside of that. So one thing you need to know before you start is this KeelShield has 13 ridges, which is great because that gives you a middle line. So our 7th ridge in the middle is your middle line. So what I want to do here, is take a crayon or something, and I want to mark that center ridge. That gives you a line, that gives you a center line whenever you're mounting this thing. And it's going to come into play, even just taping it up there. And of course, whenever we stick it on, we just want to have a center line there so we know exactly what needs to be on the center of the boat. All right, so now we're going to get this thing taped up there so we can outline it and then tape off our edges. Okay, we have her all taped up in position. So now what I'm gonna do is take my crayon and trace it. What I wanna do is get a straight line on both sides, and then we'll pull this off and then tape to our line. So you wanna push it on one side and then just use your crayon and trace it. You wanna make sure that you're trying to push all the air out. You're going to see a pretty straight line. I mean, it's going to be kind of like connect the dots once you pull everything loose. So we have everything traced off. So now what we want to do is pull this off. And you can see our crayon mark there. That's going to be our working area. So now the next step is to tape off this so we don't scratch or get any glue or anything on anything other than what we want to get on our working area. Okay, so we have our work area taped off, everything's straight. Good. So the next step now is put the gloves on. We want to clean it. One thing I forgot to mention in the beginning is paper towels. I didn't realize that till I was hunting them. We're going to clean it with, however you say that, plus alcohol. We're going to clean it real good, and then we have a scratch pad here that we're going to take a little bit of the shine off of the paint so we get a good stick, and then we're going to clean it again. All right, so what we've done now is we took our pad and we sanded the work area. You can see it changed colors. You don't want to overdo it, you know, you just want to scratch it lightly. That's going to give us a really good adhesive surface. And one thing about this, on anything in the water and adhesion, is you want to really make sure you get the edges good, because anytime you have water pushing against it, like you're running down the lake or you shut down or whatever, if it ever gets started on the edge, if you don't do it correctly, it's going to pull it off. So, you know, whenever I was sanding that, I made sure that I got the edges really good, and it's going to be the same way when we stick it on. We want to make sure the edges have a really good seal. So we're sanded. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clean it again with alcohol, and you have to get it really clean. How do you know it's clean? You know, whenever you can wipe it and you don't have any dirt or anything on your paper towel, then that means it's clean, it's ready to go. As long as you have that, you need to keep cleaning. You know, we just started, so probably have to wipe it off a couple of times before we get a good clean paper towel. We're getting better. I think some of that actually is outside on the other side, outside the working area. Look at our paper towel, it's clean. That means our work area is clean, so we are ready for the next step. So now that we have the work area clean, we're going to remove the tape. And you know, the good thing about it is you've sanded off an area, so when you pull the tape, you're going to see, you know, the dull area that you sanded, so you can still see it. You still got your line to know what your work area is, what your work area is. From this point on, we don't want to touch that with anything, our fingers, because any kind of oil off your fingers or any other thing could make it not stick good. So we're going to remove the tape, and then we're going to use our primer to fire up the process. Everything's clean. What we want to do now is put the promoter on. Okay, pretty much a primer. This is going to get everything going. One thing that you want to remember is once you put this on, it's recommended you have around 5 minutes before we start the process. So I want to put this on and get the keel shield ready and fire it up and get it on there. It's just really a small pad here, and it's just kind of like alcohol. It's going to evaporate. So we'll start with the outside, and as we lose moisture, then we'll start opening it up. Like I said, the edges, you want to make sure you get the edges. What you'll notice here is on the back of the 3M, it's segmented. You know, you have a center strip and your two outside strips. So what we want to do is we want to start at the top in the front, and we only want to peel off the back. And just like the working surface, you know, we don't want to touch any part of this. So what we want to do is stick it on there, you know, up the center line all the way down, so it's stuck up on the boat. And then what we'll do is we'll start working out. We'll pick one side and we'll work it out, remove this, but you only want to remove a little bit of tape at a time so you don't get any kind of particles or anything like that on there. And remember, your 7 line, or your 7 ridge, that's your center line. As you can see, we have the keel shield stuck up there. just by removing you know, the center strip. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this tape and we're going to push this side. Whenever you're pushing it on, you want to start from the center and push it out. That way you make sure you work any bubbles, and literally you need to go, you know, every couple inches all the way down and push this side out. We'll do this side and then we'll go to the other side and make sure we do the same thing. All right, so we got it all stuck on. Even though I used my hands and was really careful going down through there, you just want to make sure that the edges are really, really tight. I mean, the more pressure that you can put on this thing, the better your adhesive process is going to be. You know, it comes with a squeegee for the lines there. You can really push. And also I got this roller here. Like I can roll it just to make sure I got every little piece of it stuck on there. So I'm going to get underneath there and press it out, start front to back. I'll do this one first. So we have it all installed and everything looks really good. Just to note that I felt like when I was using my hand that I had everything pressed on good, but when I used the squeegee and the roller, I actually heard some air bubbles, you know, pop or press out. So the more pressure that you can put on that, the better it's going to adhere to your boat. If your boat's in the water 24/7, it's recommended that you use some kind of marine sealant. Silicone will work. All I did was follow the instructions, which comes in the package. From start to finish, this probably took us an hour, no more than that. So if you're interested, one cool thing about it, it works on aluminum boats. That's why I got it. Check it out at thmarine.com, the Gator Guard KeelShield. And now we're gonna go fishing.